Just giving myself an Uncle Bjorn's hand job. Hey guys, a lot of you have asked for this video, so I'm going to get it done for you. We're going to use the Cameo printer and the Silhouette Studio app to do our vinyl printing stickers for knife making and etching. Now, before I do any of that, I have to jack off. Jack off!
Oh shit.
Okay, so this here is the Silhouette Cameo 4. Turn that on. Really simple and easy to use, which is great. Slide this open. So it has a slot down the base here. There we open up. There we go. And you basically just feed your vinyl paper. So if you're looking to buy it, this is the stuff that I use. It does come in a couple of different sizes. I just find this one's easy to use and readily available. Obviously color doesn't matter because it's just getting thrown away at the very end. Locks into place there. Just feed it underneath up onto the roll here, and then just hit that. It will automatically feed in. Nice and simple, easy. Your cutter is here. It will have different depths. Just make sure it's locked into place. Don't do what I did the first time and wonder why it wasn't cutting, because I hadn't actually locked this in correctly. Rookie error, I know, but you know, I make the mistake so you don't have to.
All right, so people have asked about the etching marks and all the sort of little illustrations and initials I've been putting on blades and how I've done it. So I figured I'd do a video on how I create my mark or a mark, how I get it set up in the Silhouette Studio, which then I transfer to the Cameo machine, and then it prints everything out and I sort of go from there. Pretty simple to use, which is good. If a simpleton like I can do it, then pretty much anyone should be able to do it. So we're starting from a blank page, as you can see. Now you can just insert your image from that. So if we sort of go up, open, and for instance, so there's some older ones that I've done here. Let's say we open this one, just click on it. What I like to do is zoom up so I get a good close look at it. I do see the size that it is that I'm working with on the sides there, which is fine. Best to make it as large as you need to work with it, and then you can sort of work around what you need to do from that. So once you've got your image, basically we'll go over to the side here. You'll see open the trace panel, select trace area, and then just group the whole thing that you want. So once it's highlighted like this, we want outline because we just want to take the outline. That's where it's going to make the cut afterwards in the Cameo printer. So highlight outline, then hit trace, and then if you just click onto the top image, hold it down and move it out of the way, you're left with, delete that because we don't need it. So we're left with the outline of the image that we're going to cut. Very simple, very easy to use. What you'll find though, generally sometimes, if it's certain images, it may separate each one of these, which can be a little bit awkward. But to fix that, if you highlight the whole piece, if it is multiple pieces, highlight that, right click on it, and then we'll have release compound path here, which is what will break it apart, but it will say make compound path. So you use that to basically hold everything together as one piece. So for instance, if we want this, now obviously we're going to be cutting this out to put onto the side of a blade, etc. So what we need is we're going to need to box the outside of it. So we'll click on that, and then you want to put a box around it. So now what we're looking at is, this is what our sticker is going to look like. So from here, we're going to group the whole thing, right click, make compound path. So now it's all one piece. So now when we put it into the Cameo machine, it will cut all of this and then that as one. So what we'll be left with in essence is this all here is the solid piece. So then when we lay out our sticker, that goes on and it's nice and simple. So once we have our image ready, we can then resize it, because 65 mil squared is probably a bit too big to the side of a blade. Basically, you just want to, as you would with anything, drag it from the corner so it doesn't ruin the shaping. You want that to stay the same size, just smaller. So let's say we want 16 by 16. Keep in mind that that's the measurements from the sides here, so obviously it's going to be a little bit smaller in the center, but that's okay. For our purposes, this is what we want. What I tend to like to do, especially for one-off items, is I will copy and paste a couple of sizes, and then I'll just adjust the sizing, say 3 or 4 of them, just to, that way when I'm playing against the blade, I can see which one looks better on the size, depending on the size of the blade and positioning. I like to keep my options open that way. It's much easier to print off 3 or 4. You're only going to use one, that's fine, but better to have the option of getting the right sizes, and it saves you having to really, settle on one, and then once you've etched it, it doesn't quite feel as big or as nice as it should. So get a few different sizes together like that. Makes life a lot easier for everybody involved. So then once that's all set, we move up across here to send. So what this will basically do is show us this image here. So it's a lot thicker, so the thick red line is what's going to get cut. Now we've got our Cameo connected. So basically we want to go here where the force at 10, speed at 5 I find is the right speed, depth, everything works well. Make sure that your cutter is set to 3. That will be enough to get through the vinyl paper without going through the sticker backing. And then basically what we're going to do is just hit send.
That strange sound is just the cutter doing what it needs to do. It will run through nice and cleanly. Very quick for what it's doing. Nice clean lines. I've never really had any issues with it. It runs through, it cuts, keeps it simple, which is what we want. We don't want to be wasting time as knife makers. So once that's through, we're just going to feed it back a bit. that, and I'll take this off so we can have a look down the back here. And as we feed it through a bit more, you can see where they are. Make sure that that's locked down on both sides, and it has a cutter, so we're just going to run that across. Okay, after much piss farting about, as you can see, it's cut my 3 shapes out. So then what we do is we transfer over to the workshop, and then we do some cutting, some sticker work, and then etching. So you can also do very simple stuff. Say if you're just wanting to do lettering, or someone wants initials, etc. on there, just click on the text box here. Doesn't really matter where you click. Let's type in, so someone wants some lettering done. Okay, so then we just want to move this to a easier space to deal with. Shorten that up a little bit, that's probably a bit long. So we want to highlight this, and we can move up and choose from your different fonts. Depending on what sort of finish you want to go for. I do like this style, it's sort of clean, it looks good. Hit it with the italics, it just gives it a slightly nicer edge. And so again, simple, clean, easy. Resizing is a matter of just moving your cursor around like that, and we repeat the same process. Alright, that was my very simple introduction into using the Cameo vinyl printer and the Silhouette Studio program. It is really easy to use. As I said, if I can do it, surely anyone else should be able to do it. As far as the sticker work goes, never mind. I can do a video on how I do that, but I think most of you guys know how to do that by now. It is really simple. If you don't, let me know. I'm happy to do a video on that. We'll get everything else sorted. I hope everyone has a great day. And for those of you who are interested in one of the cameos, I think they're out of stock still at the moment, but have a look on Facebook. Surely something will pop up. Otherwise, if anyone wants any work done, hit me up. I'm happy to do it for you. I won't charge you an arm and a leg. I'm not that much of an ass. So just let me know. You know where to get in touch with me, guys. Cheers, have a good one. Yep. Check. Move. Mic. Good. Wow. When people try to sneak past and think they're not being recorded. Alright, stop laughing. Just serious face. Don't look at me. You're not supposed to know I'm here.